Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to our manual testing interview questions and answer series. This is the part 13 video. As a part of this video, we are going to see the scenario-based interview questions of the manual testing. Below is the list of all the interview questions. So let's start with today's first question. First question is, what are common challenges faced in manual testing? First, human error. Tester may overlook defect due to fatigue, distraction, or repetitive tasks. Limited test coverage. Achieving 100% test coverage is difficult, leading to undetected bugs. Time consuming. Manual execution of test cases takes longer compared to automation testing. Repetitive task. Repeated execution of same test cases, that is regression testing, can be tedious. Lack of skilled testers. Manual testing required attention to detail, domain knowledge, and analytical skill. Environment issue. Setting up and maintaining test environments can be complex. Inconsistent result. Test outcomes may vary depending on the tester's understanding or interpretation. Limited resources, shortage of manpower, tools, or infrastructure impacts test effectiveness. Poor documentation, inaccurate test cases, test data, or unclear requirements may lead it to ineffective testing. Defect management, tracking and reproducing defects can be challenging without efficient bug tracking tools. Challenging requirements, frequent changes in requirements may require continuous updates to test cases. Communication gaps, miscommunication between tester, developer, and stakeholders can result in missed defects. Lack of test data, creating accurate and sufficient test data for different scenarios can be difficult. Inaccurate test planning, poorly planned test cycle may lead to missed deadlines and reduced test coverage. No reusability. Unlike automated script, manual tests are not reusable, increasing repetitive work. So these are the common challenges faced in manual testing. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, how do you handle changing requirements in a project? First, evaluate and analyze the change. First, assess the business impact, technical feasibility, and associate risk. Collaborate with stakeholders to understand the purpose and urgency of the change. Second, prioritize and approve. Use a structured change control process to document and review the request. Prioritize changes based on business value, customer impact, and project constraint. Third, impact assessment. Perform a through impact analysis to identify affected functionalities, test cases, timelines, and resources. Communicate findings to stakeholders for informed decision making. Fourth, update documentation. Revise relevant artifacts, including requirements, documents, test cases, and traceability matrices. Maintain proper version control to track changes effectively. Fifth, adjust the project plan. Re-estimate effort, resources, and schedules. Update the test strategy to include regression testing and ensure no functionality is broken. Sixth, ensure effective communication. Maintain transparent and frequent communication with the development, testing, and business team. Use tools like Jira, Confluence, or Trello for tracking changes. 7. Adapt using agile practice. If using agile methodology, accommodate changes within sprint cycle. Reprioritize the backlog and adjust sprint goal accordingly. 8. Manage risk. Identify and mitigate potential risk arising from the change, ensure proper test coverage, and validate the impact with regression testing. So this is all about the changing requirement. So let's move for the another question. Next question is, how do you ensure complete test coverage? First, understand requirements thoroughly. Analyze functional and non-functional requirements using documents like SRS, FRS or user stories. Clarify doubts with stakeholder to avoid gaps in understanding. Second, create requirements traceability matrix. Map each requirement to corresponding test cases using RTM. Ensure every requirement has at least one positive and one negative test case. Third, use test design techniques. Apply various test design techniques to generate effective test cases, boundary value analysis, equivalence class partitioning for input validation, decision table testing for business logic, state transition testing for state-based application, use case testing for end-to-end scenarios. Fourth, perform risk-based testing, prioritize test cases based on risk impact and likelihood of failure, focus on critical functionalities and high-risk area, ensure coverage across difficult test types, perform functional, non-functional, performance, security, usability, and compatibility testing. Conduct regression testing to verify that new changes haven't impacted existing functionality. Sixth, review and validate test cases. Conduct peer review and involve stakeholder for feedback. Ensure test scenarios cover all edge cases, boundary values, and error conditions. Seventh, utilize test management tool. Track test coverage using tools like Jira, TestRail, or ALM. Generate reports to monitor coverage and ensure all requirements are tested. 8. Perform exploratory and ad hoc testing. Complete Complement scripted test with exploratory testing to identify unexpected defects. So these are the few points related to ensure complete test coverage. So let's move for the another question. Next question is, how do you test a login page manually? First, functional testing. Test with valid credential, ensure successful login. Second, test with invalid credentials, verify correct error message. Leave field blank, check for validation error. Test password masking, ensure it shows dots or asterisks. Second, negative testing. Ensure incorrect username or password multiple times. Verify account lock or error message. Check for SQL injection by entering or 1 equals to 1. Try entering special character or exceeding character limits. Ensure error handling. Third, UI and usability testing. Ensure all fields, buttons, and labels are aligned and visible. Test the show password functionality. Verify forgot password and remember me option work correctly. Fourth, security testing. Ensure session management work by checking automatic logout after inactivity. Verify password is not visible in browser developer tool. Compatibility and performance testing. Task on different browsers and devices. Check login under slow network conditions. So this is all about test cases on login page manually. So if you like this video, please subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, how do you test an e-commerce website manually? Functional testing, homepage, verify categories, banners, search functionality and feature products, product search and filters, test search with valid and invalid keywords, apply filters and sort options, product detail page, check images, description, prices, reviews and availability, add to cart, add product to the cart and verify cart updates, checkout process, perform a complete checkout with a different payment method, order management, verify order confirmation, order history and order status. Second, negative testing, add invalid payment details and check error handling, Try adding unavailable or out of stock products. Remove product from this card and ensure proper updates. Third, UI and usability testing. Verify responsiveness across device, mobile, tablet, desktop. Check page loading time and image quality. Ensure buttons, menus, and links are easily accessible. Fourth is security testing. Test for SQL injection and cross-site scripting XSS. Verify secure payment gateway and data encryption. Check session management by trying to access restricted pages without login. Fifth, performance testing. Test with multiple users accessing the site simultaneously. Verify the response time during peak hours. Sixth, additional testing. Email and SMS validation. Ensure user receive order confirmation emails or messages. Payment gateway. Test payment with valid and invalid card details. Return and refund. Validate the return and refund process. Review and rating. Submit product review and verify moderation. So in this way we can test the e-commerce application. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, what are the key attributes of good test case? First, clear and concise. Test case should be easy to understand with a well-defined objective. Use simple and precise language. Second, well structured. Include test case ID, description, preconditions, steps, expected result, and post conditions. Third, covers positive and negative scenarios. Cases should validate both valid and invalid input to ensure roughness robustness. Fourth, traceable to requirements should be linked to specific requirements using a RTM. Fifth, reusable and maintainable, designed to be reused in different testing cycle with minimal modification, easy to update if requirement change. Sixth, independent and self-contained, each test case should be independent so it can be executed without relying on other test cases. Seventh, covers edge cases should consider boundary values, special characters, and unexpected inputs. 8. Provides clear expected results. The expected outcome should be well defined to help identify pass or fail criteria. Ninth, efficient and optimized should avoid redundancy and cover the maximum scope with the minimum number of test cases. Last one, test data and environment details specify required test data and execution environment, that is browser, operating system, database. So this is all about key attributes of the good test cases. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, how do you test a web application versus a mobile application? First, environment and platform. Web application test on different browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and screen size responsive testing. Mobile application test on various devices, iOS, Android, with a different screen resolution, OS version, and manufacturers. Second, functional testing. Web validate all UI elements, links, forms, and navigation. Mobiles test touch, gesture, swipe, pin, zoom, device sensor, GPS, accelerometer, and camera functionality. Third, network and performance. Web test for performance under different network conditions using tools like Lighthouse. Mobile check app behavior in 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, and offline modes. Fourth, security testing. Web test for SQL injection, XSS, and CSRF. Mobile validate data storage, security, app permissions, and API authentication. Fifth, user interface and user experience. Web ensure compatibility with different browsers and responsive design. Mobile verify app adaptability across various devices, screen orientation, and resolution size. Sixth, installation and update. Web, no installation is required. Ensure caching and cookies work properly. Mobile, test installation, updates, uninstallation, and compatibility with app stores. Seventh, notification. Web, test browser, base push notification. Mobile, validate push notification in app notification and permission request. 8. Battery and resource uses. Web, typical less resource intensive but ensure browser memory management is efficient. Mobile, monitor battery consumption, memory uses and CPU load. Ninth, interrupt testing. Web, validate browser interruption, that is switching tabs, closing browser. Mobile, test calls, messages, app switching and notification during app use. So in this way we can test the web or a mobile application. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, how do you perform cross-browser testing manually? First, identify target browsers. Determine the most commonly used browser by your users, that is Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari. Consider different browser version and devices. Second, create test scenario. Prepare functional and UI test cases. Focus on critical functionalities like login, search, checkout, and forms. Ensure test scenarios cover visual elements, responsiveness, and user interactions. Third, set up test environments. Install multiple browsers on a different operating system, Windows, Mac OS, Linux. Use a browser developer tool to inspect UI issues. Fourth, perform functional testing. Execute test cases across different browsers. Validate that feature work consistently and expected results are the same. Fifth, perform UI UX testing. Check for design consistency, font rendering, spacing, and alignment. Ensure elements like button, images, and text are displayed correctly. Verify responsive design using browser resizing or developer tool. 6. Perform compatibility testing. Test on elder browser version if applicable. Verify browser-specific functionalities like video, platform, forms, and pop-ups. Document and report issues. Note down any browser-specific bug with a screenshot. Log issues in a bug tracking tool, Jira or Bugzilla. 8. Use browser emulator or cloud platform optional. If devices are unavailable, use online tool like BrowserStack or a Lambda test to simulate different browsers. So if you use the BrowserStack, there you have to do the login, and after login we can simulate the multiple browsers and test accordingly. So this is all about the testing of a browser cross browser testing. So let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is the role of manual testing in an automated testing environment? First, exploratory and ad hoc testing. Manual tester explore the application without script to find defects that automation may miss. Useful for detecting UI or UX issues, usability concerns, and unexpected behavior. Second, test case design and validation. Manual tester create and validate test cases before automating them. They ensure the test scenarios cover both positive and negative cases. Third, initial testing. Perform smoke and sanity testing manually to ensure the application is stable before running automated tests. Complex scenario testing. Some scenarios are difficult to automate like CAPTCHAs, image validation, or testing with external hardware. Manual testers handle this scenario effectively. UI UX testing. Validate visual elements, fonts, colors, and responsiveness. Provide feedback on the user experience that automation tool cannot judge. Six, test automation validation. Manually validate if automated test script work as intended. Troubleshoot and identify issues with automation failures. Seventh, real user simulation. Perform end-to-end testing from a real user perspective to ensure seamless workflow. 8. Support for frequent changes. In rapidly changing environments, manual testing is quicker for short-term validation compared to modifying automation script. Ninth, continuous feedback. Provide insight on area that may not be suitable for automation. Collaborate with developers and automation tester for effective test coverage. So this is all about the manual versus automation testing. Let's move for the another question. Last question is, what is the role of AI in manual testing? First, test case generation and optimization. AI can analyze application data, user behavior, and past defects to suggest relevant test cases. It helps prioritize test cases based on risk and criticality. Second, defect detection and prediction. AI-powered tools can predict area prone to defects using historical data. If identifies patterns and highlights potential problem area for manual tester to focus on. Third, visual testing and UI analysis. AI tool perform visual regression testing to detect UI inconsistencies across browsers and devices. AI can suggest layout improvement and ensure design consistency. Fourth, intelligent test data generation. AI algorithms generate realistic and diverse test data for effective manual testing. It can simulate complex data scenario without manual intervention. Fifth, test execution assistance. AI can monitor manual test execution and recommend additional test scenario to improve coverage. It tracks test result to provide actionable insights. Sixth, faster defect triage. AI system analyze defect report, prioritize them based on severity, and suggest possible root causes. 7. Continuous learning and improvement. AI learns from past testing cycles to refine test cases and reduce redundancy in manual testing. Last one, enhancing exploratory testing. AI suggests areas for exploratory testing by identifying untested or under-tested functionalities. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more videos. See you in the next one.